Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Friday, November 15th, 2024. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and coming in at number 47 is Papers, Please. In Papers, Please, you play as an immigration officer at a new border checkpoint into the fictional nation of Arstotzka. The political climate of this world is tense, set in an alternate world of the early 1980s, evoking strong Cold War vibes. The early days of your job are pretty simple. Allow everyone in that's an Arstotzkan citizen with a valid passport, but you still need to check to make sure that the picture matches, passport isn't expired, the information is correct regarding issuing city. There's a handbook that has all of this that you can check all of the information that you'll need as the game progresses. Get anything wrong and you're given a ticket. This is a warning. The first 2 tickets have no penalty, but after that you start getting docked for your pay. The pay itself is based on how quickly you can allow the correct people into the country, getting $10 per person. However, as the days go on, things get a bit more complicated. You can start allowing in people from other countries if they have a passport and a ticket. Sometimes people will make small talk with you, and it's not always positive. Sometimes they'll be missing items when they hand you their stuff, and you have to investigate that. Maybe they actually have the item and just forgot to give it to you, so don't deny them right away, because you might get ticketed for that, actually, and in addition to not getting the money for letting them in, somehow this country knows already if these people are allowed in or not, and, I don't know why you're there, but hey, Big Brother, or something. Eventually, someone gets through that stages a terrorist attack on the checkpoint, and things get a lot more complicated. As the game goes on, you'll need to navigate constantly changing document requirements, different policies about people from specific nations, doing fingerprints, x-rays, interrogations, and some really, really difficult decisions, ethically speaking. With all of these layers that get so convoluted to the point I find myself frequently needing to check the in-game manual, sometimes each person can eat up a lot of time in the day. That means you don't get as many people through, so you get less money. The problem is, you get so little money while you're trying to fully support your family. Not just you, but a kid, your parents. You'll have days where you can't afford heat or food, people will get sick, and you'll need to buy medicine that's extra cost, and if you ever can't afford rent, you lose the game because the government is like, hey, you gotta give the money to the government or else we'll arrest you. So with all of these razor thin margins on everything you do, every mistake that nets you a fee is brutal. So you're incentivized to make sure you're following the rules to the letter. The problem there is you'll frequently be in positions where you don't want to. There are several subplots that are threaded throughout this game, and there's kind of a branching narrative and maze of discoverable stuff, and that's part of the fun. I say fun. Ooh. But you will discover all sorts of different storylines each time you play it, as you go in different directions, or, make it further along. Some attempts for me have been very short, but some have really dragged on. And some of these things you can find are foreign agents looking to take down Arstotzka. Some are people just trying to live their lives in peace and safety. For example, there's a woman coming in on a work visa, and she slips you a business card for a strip club. But she, doesn't have, it's certainly not that listed for her occupation. But then she also secretly slips you a handwritten note naming someone else in the line that's sex trafficking her. And of course, she's potentially going to the strip club against her will. So when that person does come up, you can choose to believe her and detain him, despite all of his papers and everything being correct and legal. This is risky because she could have made it up and you'd be in a lot of hot water, or this could go great and you'd be doing something amazing to save people. Or another thing that can happen is a married couple comes in one after the other. The husband is all cleared to go, but he tells you his wife is right behind him. The problem is, she's missing one of the documents, so you're left with this decision of whether or not you follow the rules to the letter and split the couple up, which would suck, or if you take the punishment and let her through. With how tight money always is at home, it's a real conundrum, and it's these kinds of decisions I find myself agonizing over. Papers, Please finds a delicate balance between intricate, difficult gameplay that is somehow fun, despite also being, emotionally difficult for me to navigate this game, and I cannot play it in long sessions. I have to do it in short bursts, and it's interwoven with these gut-wrenching storytelling methods that I've seen in very few other games done so well, making it one of the most memorable experiences I've ever played, and a go-to example of why video games is an art form all their own, rather than just an amalgamation of other things. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my 46th favorite game, where I cannot believe there was an achievement for beating this game without dying.